Many whispers say that once a man knelt before Jacqueline Bisset, not once, but 3 times. 3 proposals, 3 refusals. The last time she looked at him and quietly said, "I don't wear chains." Then she turned and walked away, leaving a stunned Hollywood behind. In a world where fame, beauty, and love all come with a price tag, Jacqueline chose something else. Freedom, a radiant yet lonely freedom. They called her the most sensual woman in Britain, the muse of the 1970s, the ageless beauty. But behind those blue eyes and elegant grace lived a soul full of contradictions. Gentle yet defiant, longing for love yet terrified of being possessed. No one knows for sure who the man was, a billionaire, an actor, or perhaps they all heard the same answer, the one that turned Jacqueline Bisset into a legend, the woman who never belonged to anyone. If you, too, believe that every woman has the right to live life on her own terms, stay with us, where stories like Jacqueline's are told softly, truthfully, and with heart. Subscribe, and don't miss the journeys that lie behind Hollywood's dazzling lights, because sometimes the truth can only be heard when we dare to listen to the very end. Jacqueline Bisset was born in 1944 in the serene countryside of Surrey, England, a place where morning mist lingers over the fields and church bells echo softly in the evenings. She grew up in an intellectual family. Her father was a doctor, and her mother, a French-born lawyer, taught her about beauty, pride, and the quiet loneliness of an independent woman. Jacqueline's childhood was filled with ballet lessons, books, and long hours in front of the mirror, practicing movie lines in her pure British accent. No one could have guessed that the shy girl in the mirror would one day become one of cinema's most alluring and enigmatic icons. People say that when her parents separated, Jacqueline was only 14. That night, she told her best friend, "If this is love, I don't want it." And perhaps from that moment on, Jacqueline chose a path with no hand to hold, only herself and freedom. A belief she would carry for the rest of her life. What do you think about this? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss the hidden stories behind Hollywood's brightest lights. To pay for her acting classes, Jacqueline began modeling for fashion magazines in London. She didn't have the typical look of a runway model. No flash, no theatrics, but a kind of beauty that made people turn around just to see her one more time. Her brown hair, deep eyes, and half smile, refined yet sensual, carried a quiet magnetism. That very contrast led her to the world of cinema. Starting from small parts, Jacqueline slowly stepped into the spotlight. In 1968, The Sweet Ride was released, a film that made Hollywood sit up and take notice of a new face. Without gimmicks or scandal, she captivated audiences through confidence and eyes that spoke louder than words. The film earned her a Golden Globe nomination, opening the door that would transform a young Englishwoman into an international icon. Behind the scenes, a producer once exclaimed, "She's fire wrapped in velvet." Others said it was those very eyes that got her chosen to replace Mia Farrow in Bullet, to stand beside Steve McQueen, the man who would later call her the silence that made Hollywood listen. On the set of The Sweet Ride, beneath the golden lights and drifting cigarette smoke, Jacqueline Bisset met Michael Sarrazin, a Canadian actor with sad eyes and a smile that seemed to slow down the whole room. They didn't need many words. One glance, one shared breath. And so began a love story that lasted 7 years. Tender, passionate, yet full of storms. Unlike most Hollywood couples, they were never loud about their love. No parties, no publicity. Just quiet afternoons together and trips they never bothered to photograph. In one interview, Jacqueline once said, "I didn't come to Hollywood for fame. I stayed because of him." But some say it was Michael who betrayed her. Others whisper that Jacqueline was the one who walked away. gently, without tears, without looking back. No one knows the truth. What's certain is that when they parted ways in 1974, there was no announcement, no headlines. Only silence, as if their love had never really ended, just quietly slipped into memory. After her relationship with Michael Sarrazin ended, Jacqueline entered what many called the golden age of her freedom. She was beautiful, famous, and seemed untouchable. Men drifted in and out of her life. Ryan O'Neal, the star of A Love Story. John Peters, the powerhouse producer behind A Star Is Born. And Nick Nolte, Hollywood's wild man of that era. Each came like a warm breeze and left behind only a trace of cologne, a quiet smile in her memory. Jacqueline never spoke much about them. She neither denied nor confirmed. To her, love wasn't something to display. It's said that at a Beverly Hills party, Ryan O'Neal once knelt down before the crowd, holding out a dazzling diamond ring. Jacqueline simply smiled, tilted her head, and replied softly, "I don't wear chains." That line spread through Hollywood like a small, defiant flame, both proud and cold, and sealed Jacqueline Bisset's image as the woman no one could ever truly possess. Amid the glittering lights of Beverly Hills, Jacqueline Bisset met Victor Drey, a sophisticated, charming, and wealthy Moroccan businessman. He came into her life like a breeze, scented with desert air and expensive cologne. A man strong enough to walk beside her, yet passionate enough to give up everything for her. Victor left his business in Europe and moved to America just to be near Jacqueline. They attended parties together, walked red carpets, and shared quiet lunches by mirror still lakes. To the public, they seemed like the embodiment of an elegant, mature love. Two free spirits who had found each other in a kingdom built on glamour and illusion. But Hollywood never stays peaceful for long. Some say Victor proposed to her 3 times, and each time she gently refused. In an interview, Jacqueline once said, "Marriage is a gilded cage for those who fear being alone." To her, love was never about possession. It was about breathing together, and then letting go gracefully when the wind began to change. At the height of Jacqueline Bisset's career, rumors began to swirl quietly but persistently. Under the bright lights of the set, whispers claimed she had developed a beyond professional relationship with French director François Truffaut during the filming of Day for Night, the movie that would later win an Oscar. They were often seen staying late after filming, sharing glasses of red wine, talking about cinema, love, and loneliness. 3 things both knew all too well. To Truffaut, Jacqueline was more than just an actress. She embodied the ideal French woman he had always searched for but never truly found. No one ever knew what really happened between them, but one of Truffaut's close friends once said, "She was the woman I could understand, yet never touch." That line hung in the Paris air like an unfinished sentence, and before the gossip could fade, Hollywood buzzed again. This time about Jacqueline and Sean Ferrer, the son of Audrey Hepburn. It was said to be a brief, tender romance that disappeared as quietly as it began. No photos, no confirmations, only the lingering echo of 2 names that connected 2 generations of legends. In the early 1980s, when Hollywood still clung tightly to its conventions, a quiet rumor began to drift through its bright corridors and late-night cocktail parties. Jacqueline Bisset and Candice Bergen, 2 icons of beauty, 2 stars of their time, were said to be more than friends. The story was born from an after-party, where the 2 women spent the entire night talking in a quiet corner apart from the noise and the crowd, the glances, the subtle gestures, their frequent appearances together afterward. It was all enough for the press to spin into a tale of a forbidden romance. In an era when Hollywood still wore its prejudices like armor, that rumor felt like a small rebellion against silence. When asked about it, Jacqueline simply smiled and said, "Love has no gender. It's either honest or it isn't." A sentence as light as air, yet powerful enough to shake old walls. She neither confirmed nor denied, choosing instead a graceful silence that left Hollywood both puzzled and mesmerized. From that moment on, Jacqueline Bisset became more than a movie star. She became a symbol of absolute freedom, to love with one's heart, not by society's rules. In 1981, amid flights and film premieres, Jacqueline Bisset met Alexander Godunov, a Russian ballet dancer who had defected from the Soviet Union in search of freedom in the West. He was the embodiment of classical beauty, tall, proud, and intense, with eyes that seemed to hold an entire universe of secrets. They fell deeply in love, living simply in a small New York apartment, cooking together, listening to music, reading, and trying to carve out a peaceful corner in a noisy world. But Jacqueline's growing fame gradually became a mirror reflecting his insecurities. As her name shone brighter, Alexander's career began to fade. He withdrew, turning to alcohol as a way to escape the feeling of being left behind. One night he proposed, under dim light and the faint scent of vodka. She said nothing. The next morning, Jacqueline left the apartment, taking nothing with her but a photo of them together. In 1995, when news came that Alexander had died, she wept for 3 days. A close friend recalled, "It was the only time I ever saw Jacqueline lose her composure. Maybe he was the only man who ever touched the softest part of her soul." After all her heartbreaks, Jacqueline Bisset never turned her back on cinema. She continued to appear steadily on screen, from Rich and Famous to Class, and later Dancing on the Edge, the role that earned her a Golden Globe at the age of 69. Quietly and gracefully, she moved through time with an elegance few could match. The press called her the embodiment of ageless sophistication, a woman who defied time not through surgery, but through spirit. During those years, alongside her career, Jacqueline still kept her heart open to love. She was once involved with Vincent Perez, the French actor nearly 2 decades her junior, and later with Emin Boste, a German-Turkish martial artist who brought laughter and simple peace into her life. It's said that even after they parted, Jacqueline always defended Emin from the tabloid's cruel remarks. When someone suggested he was a gold digger, she simply replied, "He wasn't after my money. He just made me laugh." A sentence both tender and proud, much like Jacqueline Bisset herself, a woman who loved deeply, but never let love define who she was. Now, at 81, Jacqueline Bisset lives quietly in a small house in the south of France, surrounded by a garden where lavender blooms purple every morning. Each day, she spends her time reading, painting, and strolling among the flowers, where the afternoon sunlight falls like a gentle consolation. No husband, no children, no scandals, only peace, the very thing she spent a lifetime searching for. To Jacqueline, it isn't loneliness. It's the reward for a life lived truthfully. When asked if she ever regretted not getting married, she simply smiled, her eyes calm with the serenity of someone who has weathered every storm. "Marriage never really interested me. I'm afraid of the word forever." It's said that in that house, Jacqueline still keeps an old black and white photograph on her bedside table, the picture of Michael Sarrazin, the first man, and perhaps the only one, she ever truly loved. Whenever she looks at it, she quietly says, "I never belonged to anyone, but maybe my heart never really left." Jacqueline Bisset, the woman who chose solitude over compromise, freedom over convention. Her entire life has been a journey in search of love without chains and freedom without permission. In a Hollywood built on temptation, she remained herself, beautiful, proud, and unattached. Perhaps that is her greatest happiness, or her quietest tragedy. And what about you? Do you think Jacqueline Bisset is a happy woman? or the living proof of the price of freedom? Share your thoughts below.